way, shape, or form. It's just a color
flash,
sample, that your brain instantly. And so, like, for all the princesses, for all that stuff, they have actually done the color palettes. So the way some mom and pops are getting around that is, like you said,
getting close.
They get close, so it's enough that you recognize, but it's not
right. Well, that's like when the arena.
I've seen a lot of the resin people like do cups and pins and stuff doing that.
We had to go in and change all the signs to the new owner.
Right.
They were having us do them, but I didn't have like the specific colors, etc., that sort of thing. And so literally that same thing. I had to go into like CMYK, and I mean it's so damn close you can't tell the difference. But
under a spectrometer there is a difference.
Get this. You know the Arkansas River Trail bike trail?
Okay.
They have copyrighted all of that. I had to make and replace some of those signs along the river trail. They sent me a 27-page...
Oh, I wouldn't have read all of that.
...deal that was all these specs, sizes, shapes, colors, specific colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have copyrighted all that shit. I don't know exactly what they're getting out of that. Literally a 27-page spec thing.
Oh, yeah. I would
for those signs.
I'd have been like, no, I'm not reading all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Why don't you just send me the fucking files?
Yeah.
That'd be a whole lot easier.
Yeah, that's... And, like, it's all about... Because rights are broken all the time. Hell, I've broken rights in some of the shit I've done on my Glowforge and shit. Amber breaks rights when she does some of her... But we're breaking the rights from people that don't really give a shit. Yeah. Because they're, like supernatural, whatever. They don't care. They don't pursue it because they're already making their bajillions.
Did you know... I didn't know this. All right, so, like, if I record a cover song and I upload it to YouTube... and I put cover in the thing. Most people don't care. Most bands are flattered. Except Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers, man, if my phone goes off and it sounds like one of their songs, they flag it for copyright infringement. It's like, that's a dick thing to do.
You're not doing any... It's no different than everybody else.
And what that actually probably is their management.
Maybe. Or it might be Axl Rose because
it might be.
Seems like he's
more
a little
than
bit
likely
of a dick.
shit like that is usually their management. Like, no, hell no, I'm squeezing every dime I can out of this.
Yeah, it's not like Welcome to the Jungle wasn't the first video on YouTube to break 1 billion views. Or 100 billion or whatever fucking massive number it is. It's like, damn, guys, come on.
Like, talking about copyright and bullshit and like derivative products. When we got our Glowforge and we were buying materials for things we wanted to do, we bought like 100 Apple Watch bands. I can't put any of those on Etsy now.
Why not?
Because Apple Industries has come in and they've seen all the people that are doing the custom watch bands because they're a big deal. And any watch band that has that click in, click out, and silicone with the button, like, even if it's not exact, like a lot of them, like on the Apple ones, it has 2 of the teeth,
right?
That look kind of like the jean rivet things. It comes up. Apple has 2, so a lot of the knockoff ones, we're doing one, and that's not enough. Which I think
that's bullshit.
Yeah, right.
That's more than enough,
right? Because it's clearly not your.
But Apple's literally like going through
doing
all
cease
of them.
And desist. I don't know how many.
I can see if they had like their logo on the little rivets or something, but
they're like, literally
anything. Any silicone band
copying the design of the band for the most part, but they're changing some things.
Yeah.
Other than that,
and that's enough to get around copyright.
It just fits
into that. Right. So they have gone in any silicone band. Here's the kicker.
And a decent lawyer could say, well, that spacing, that's an industry standard. You can't copyright an industry standard because it should be IEEE approved to fucking begin with.
Here's what's fucking hilarious. Because whole Etsy shops have been taken down. There were some people, because I do a little bit of everything with my Glowforge, depending on which day I wake up in. There are people that's all they did was watch bands.
And they were making bank.
Because they were focused.
And Apple tried to get all of their fucking profits, too.
Here's what the thing is. All those people were doing on silicone bands. That's very important because the silicone bands, it just works right. If you try to do an original Apple Watch band like that comes with your watch, it won't work. You know why? They're not silicone.
Well, that right there should be enough to get around the copyright.
That's what I think. And that's just horse shit. But Etsy's rolling with it because Apple's such a big name. Even though...
See, that's bullshit.
How can you say that?
And those people ought to get together and file a class action lawsuit against Etsy.
Etsy has a lot of issues. Etsy is very cliquey.
Oh, yeah.
With the people doing sales on there,
they were
real cliquey.
Great when they started, but like anything...
And the guy and the people that run it, the small group that runs it, are just like, oh yes, sir. Oh yes, we'll do whatever you want.
And to me, that's insane that they've done this moratorium on all silicone watch bands when the original isn't even silicone. What we're doing with the silicone bands cannot be done with the original watch band.
So,
it will totally not turn out because I had an extra one and I tried it.
Here's the deal.
See if they were right.
Here's the deal. And a lot of people don't understand this. When you file a patent or a copyright application, you give specs, and in the specs are dimensions and material. And if the material that they listed isn't fucking silicone, then all of their lawsuits and all of their cease and
become
desists
null and void.
Don't mean shit.
You know what I saw somebody else do?
And I'm telling you, if we had a shop and Etsy did that, I'd be like, I'll tell you what, assholes, put my shit back up or I'm filing a class action lawsuit by the end of the week. It's up to you. I don't give a fuck either way.
And I'll get everybody on here that wants to join me.
Because everybody on here, they've lost big amounts of income. And especially like a lot of people that started with Glowforge in the last couple of years did it to replace income that they lost due to COVID.
Right,
and so,
right.
Now they're like, fucking great. Now we got to reinvent the wheel that we just reinvented. But I saw another thing on one of the Glowforge groups this week, and I've been so busy this week I haven't been in on a lot, but this just caught my eye because it had so many comments. And I was trying to see if there was something in here that kind of had this shape. You wear a lot of like baseball caps. Okay, well somebody had...
because I got this awesome hairline.
Somebody had done... have you seen the living hinge thing where it's all in how you cut it? You can take a piece of wood and make it bend.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody had developed a living hinge thing that you do on the wall, and it lets you stack your caps so they're neatly and they're not bent and stuff like that. And they filed a patent on it, and it was real specific, the shape and the way they did the hinges and the shape here and all this. And so somebody else saw that or saw another one. I don't know what they were inspired by, but they made one, looked nothing like that. The only commonality between them
was the functionality.
Yeah, that they were both to hold hats and they both were from a single piece.
There's no copyright infringement at all.
Etsy went with the people who had the original one copywritten, supposedly.
Copyrighted.
And took it down.
I'd have sued them.
And here's the thing. You know what it turns out? They didn't have a copyright on it already. They had applied for a patent.
Patent pending and copyrighted are not the same.
Then I would sue the shit out of Etsy.
That's what I'm telling you. If I knew I was in the right, okay, if you're in the wrong and that's the worst that happens as your shop gets taken down, you need to take that as a win, and you need to...
I knew this was a
exactly.
You take it on the chin.
You need to say, thank God they didn't come after me for my profits.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the right and Etsy fucks me like that, they're going to get a letter immediately saying, put my shit back up, or I'm...
They don't fucking care. When they took my shop down...
Etsy sucks.
I did...
They don't give you an explanation.
I did nothing wrong. I didn't break any copyrights. Nothing. They just took my shop down.
I guarantee you one of their little buddies made a comment about
it. Your shop was...
They did not give me an explanation. Why?
And even if you write and ask for one, you don't get one.
Exactly. Well, I emailed them everything. I didn't hear back for God the longest time. And finally I heard back and they were like, oh, it was a glitch. Sorry.
Well, and the thing is...
Of course, we're not putting your shop back up.
If your shop was making a couple of grand a week and you thought it was because of some bullshit like that, we'd have had a lawyer. And we'd have filed a fucking claim. Or filed a suit against them.
What else did I recently see where they had taken one down? this has also come up in the Glowforge groups. Now, Etsy has a thing built in that they can... I'm making, it's not the word they use, but it's the idea. They can throttle your shop if you sell a whole bunch because they don't want you to get back ordered and orders pile up and get not timely. And of course, they can see when you okay, now we've processed an order.
Who says they get to make the decision whether or not you can fulfill it?
They do.
Yeah. They can see where you've processed an order. Well, now I'm making the thing. Now it's shipped. Now it's out. Right. So if they decide that, say you hit a product and all of a sudden it kind of goes a little viral and you've gone from 10 sales a day to now you got 100. Well, it is completely at their discretion whether they go, we're shutting her shop down because we don't think she can handle this amount of orders.
That's horseshit.
And the thing...
Hey, why don't you give me a fucking chance?
Yeah, you haven't even given me a chance to get behind.
I can see because...
if it jumps that quick... Maybe I hire 2 people tomorrow.
Yeah,
I can see because they do follow the processing time and if your orders have gone through and ship, and I can see she's getting behind on her shipments. I can see throttling it down
or something. Okay.
But they're not even giving people a time to see if they can handle the influx.
I don't think this bitch can handle it. So
that's a great way to get a class action lawsuit.
And it's completely arbitrary because, you'll see as they're going,
they don't have any criteria.
Somebody will post
you can ask, and they won't give you any criteria.
Oh, they'd give a fucking judge that criteria. I guarantee you.
I've seen not just once, but multiple times over different groups, and because I'm in a lot of different crafting groups. Some of them are bead making, some of them are Glowforge, so they're not even the same, and people will go, yeah, they did it to me because I got 100 sales, and somebody else will go, are you fucking kidding? Because I got 500 and they didn't do shit to me. So it's just completely arbitrary. It's just like somebody goes,
Yeah, there was this one girl
that's a great way to wind up in a class action lawsuit.
One girl who was making, I think it was resin, little fruit, earrings and stuff.
Yeah.
And she had gotten sick and was in the hospital. She was still trying to get those orders out. She was falling behind.
Right.
Etsy didn't give a shit. They completely shut her store down. She told them what was going on. They didn't throttle her back. They didn't put her in vacation mode. They shut it down. She had no access to it, no access to her customers. I don't think she can make a new store because it goes by IP.
Yeah. If they shut you down, she couldn't just make a new one.
She couldn't make a new store. She lost all her customers, all her followers,
all the data. So it's not like she could even email her customers and go, "Hey, they shut my store down." But I know
because you have to do all of your messages through Etsy.
Etsy's horseshit.
They control it, and then they just take it away, and you have no recourse. But I'm like, Chris, if enough people got tired of it and got together and said, this is bullshit. We literally pay you.
Well,
we are how you operate.
Well, and the other thing too, you're a business, you can operate how you want to. If you posted some guidelines and people went outside those guidelines, fine.
But they
won't even post any guidelines, so you don't have a fucking clue why, what,
absolutely.
where,
if a shop is operating outside the community standards and the community guidelines, fine, I get it. But if it's just arbitrary bullshit,
like I said, they won't even post guidelines.
You can't operate under standards if you don't know what those standards are.
Here's what Etsy and their counsel don't seem to realize. If they get a class action lawsuit, they could lose billions. That $7 billion that they're worth, they could lose it. In one judgment.
And the thing is, and I know that's why they won't post guidelines because, they just seem to fly by the seat of their pants or whatever. But it's just ridiculous.
That's a shit way to do business, too, though.
You can literally wake up, have a thriving store when you go to bed.
And wake up and nothing.
And have nothing. And everything you built is just gone. And
no
you're like...
contact to the people that you had business. Nothing.
No explanation.
Literally lose fucking everything.
And here's the thing. Etsy tries to discourage you from linking to other forms of social media so that if something happens, your customers, because they don't want your customers to already be following you on Instagram and TikTok, so that if they pull your plug, at least they can go somewhere else and go, well, I think it was, and find you. They want to control everything, but then they want to just arbitrarily, and I'm like, it's like, why Why would people have faith in you? That's why I haven't done anything on Etsy. I'm like, I would rather sell less word of mouth, off Facebook groups and stuff like that,